On tonight's CTV News, Sumner residents face more commuting misery, a new service aimed at renters has been praised, and the Earthquake Recovery Minister gets to use his superpowers again. This is CTV News, I'm Grant Mangan. A budget announcement led a Christchurch sexual violence support service to believe it was in for a funding windfall. It's turned into a funding shortfall, and now the sports service may have to close its doors.
When the 2014 budget came out, Social Development Minister Paula Bennett was quick to announce $10.4 million in new funding for sexual violence services. However, a Christchurch trust may not be eligible for the cash windfall, as it's not currently accredited with the government. The Survivors of Sexual Violence Trust says, with 16 clients and 30 on a waiting list, it's critical it keeps running. Police are referring new clients on a daily basis, and as the Christchurch Press reports today, the Trust's contract with Child, Youth and Family ended a year too early. It needs new accreditation as a government-funded provider. If the Trust doesn't find new funding within the next few days, it will lose its staff, buildings and clients. A Christchurch police spokesman says it's critical police have counsellors on hand for victims.
The Tenants Protection Association is applauding a new service aimed at renters.
The Tenants Protection Association is already fighting for renters. Now the Anglican Church is joining the battle. The Christchurch Press has reported that the Anglican Church's Social Justice Unit is setting up a Record Your Rental program. Here volunteers will take photos of houses before tenants move in. This means tenants can't be blamed for damage that already pre-existed. The Tenants Protection Association has told CTV they're pleased the church is getting on board their campaign to protect renters. The association says photos and written records make great evidence when it comes to fighting a case at the Tenancy Tribunal. The church's Social Justice Unit helped produce a report last year showing landlords weren't being challenged because disgruntled tenants didn't have evidence. Another concern is rising rental costs, while the standards of housing are remaining the same. A recent CTV investigation exposed how serious Christchurch's housing problems are. There are dozens of people living rough on the streets, and many more sharing a couch at a friend's home. Christchurch City Councillor Glenn Livingston says he's working to set up temporary accommodation for the homeless.
An army of contractors has begun repairing 14 houses in Aranui. They aim to get every house refurbished in 7 days.
From painters to carpet layers, contractors headed to 14 of Aranui's houses needing repair. The task, to get it completely finished in a week. Housing New Zealand conducted the Hampshire Street repair project, aiming to bring an army of contractors to tackle the renovations of the 14 houses head on. Last Sunday, workers were assisting residents to pack up their belongings and store them in secure containers in the front of their properties. Housing New Zealand's General Manager of the Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Program, Paul Commons, says tenants are pleased to be getting the work done so quickly. Paul Commons says, although the aim is within the week, in terms of quality, no shortcuts will be made.
It's exciting to get the work done quickly for the contractors themselves and the tenants, but these things take as long as they need to, because we don't want to take shortcuts, we don't want to hurt people, we need them fixed properly.
Contractors are hard at work. For lots of the properties, a great deal of repairs needs to be done. With a looming deadline, the tradesmen are taking the opportunities to work long hours.
There's a lot of repairs involving redecoration, repairing cracks, doors that don't open, windows that are broken and so forth. And there's also a lot of work around replacing floor coverings, new vents in the bathrooms, new vents in the kitchens and so forth. So it's a combination of earthquake repairs and also improving these houses. Most
of the residents are staying with friends and family while the homes are being repaired. Paul Commons says the lack of temporary accommodation available is a part of the push to work so quickly. The tenants of Hampshire Street are supportive of the project, pleased their homes are being improved.
There's a tremendous amount of goodwill out in the community, and people do like having their houses fixed. I mean, there is a bit of inconvenience, and there's children to take to school, and there's people that need to get to their work and so forth. So there is some inconvenience, but generally speaking, most people are more than appreciative of having their houses repaired and in some cases upgraded.
Paul Commons says 95% of Housing New Zealand properties in Christchurch were damaged in the earthquakes. To those in houses still waiting for answers, Paul Commons assures it won't be long.
Stay patient, we're on our way, and we'll soon be at your door looking to arrange a time and a date to start working on your house.
Painters, carpenters, carpet layers and more contractors working hard until the end of the week. Looking at the street, Paul Commons says you can see the hard miles being put in.
I think it's really exciting to get the work done and see progress, and you can see in the streetscape around here today there's a lot of work, there's a lot of vans, there's a lot of activity, and that's a good sign of progress from our point of view.
Joelle Batista, CTV News.
The Earthquake Recovery Minister is planning to use his special powers to speed up the redevelopment of the badly damaged port. Minister Brownlee is directing Environment, Canterbury and the Littleton Port to prepare a recovery plan. He says the plan will deliver certainty about repairing, rebuilding and reconfiguring the port's operations. Due to earthquake damage, cruise ships have been bypassing Littleton and Christchurch is missing out on valuable tourism dollars. The draft recovery plan will be provided to the Minister in July next year. Our daily traffic update is coming up later in the bulletin, but first, here's a warning for Sumner commuters.
A major change is on the cards for those heading to Sumner. A new wastewater pressure main pipe has been installed on Main Road between McCormick's Bay Road and the Moa Cave and Redcliffs. This work will affect road users travelling towards Sumner from this Monday. This work will require a lane closure and at a later stage a temporary full road closure along this part of Main Road. Travellers will be detoured along Celia Street and Beachville Road. At first, Main Road past the Moa Cave will be open for one-way traffic to town-bound traffic only. Traffic heading towards Sumner will be detoured down Beachville Road. The section of Main Road will be one-way for up to 2 weeks before a full road closure is needed. Some residents may feel as though the work has already been fixed because straight after the earthquakes, contractors were installing a wastewater pressure main underneath Main Road between Barnett Park and the Moa Cave. This pressure main now needs to be extended and joined into the new pipes along McCormick's Bay Road. The entire project should take about 6 weeks to complete. Road users should expect delays and allow extra time for journeys.
Last week's flooding in North Canterbury is still affecting residents. Groundwater is still flowing following the disaster after septic tanks were overwhelmed by the high levels of rainfall. Just as in Christchurch, a flooding task force is working on solutions which will be presented to the Waimakariri District Council in a few months. The team will also work to fix historical flooding issues in land around South Kaiapoi. Meanwhile, the repair costs to the roading damage will set ratepayers in the Waimakariri district back around $300,000. 28 days of fundraising in New Brighton has come to an end, but organiser Tony Brooks says this is only the beginning.
$20,000 raised in 28 days. A New Brighton community group have been out in full force, but the Strategic Urban Rejuvenation Force founder, Tony Brooks, says this is only the first step. The initiative was brought in to kickstart the rebuild in one of the worst hit suburbs, New Brighton. Tony Brooks is pleased with the outcome but says it was never about the money. The purpose was bringing the whole community together. CTV News spoke to Brooks at the beginning of the fundraiser, where he shared the importance for the people of New Brighton to bring life back into the main strip. The seaside suburb was badly damaged in the Christchurch earthquakes. Tony Brooks says the community still feels abandoned more than 3 years on.
We feel betrayed. We feel betrayed by a city that should know better. New Zealanders and a society wouldn't accept that. You know what I mean? It's not just about New Brighton or us versus them or picking a fight with council. It's effectively what basic New Zealanders would expect, and I don't think basic New Zealanders would expect a suburb that's been decimated to receive zero support.
Bringing a lost community back together. The fundraiser achieved its purpose and the future for the eastern suburb is looking bright. Tony Brooks says interest into investing in the area has grown, with 2 national retail franchisees keen to come into the suburb. The $20,000 will go towards community projects and in this beginning stage, a free newsletter informing residents of community events. More ideas are in the pipeline for this active organisation. The group are looking at putting in a toll charge for the bridges into the New Brighton area.
Coming up, local advocates for speed schools believe the government is ignoring school children.
Canterbury Live coming to you daily at 4:30. It's all about what's happening in your region, Canterbury, what's hot, what's not, and much more. Canterbury Live.
Hi, I'm Mark and welcome to Stay Well Pharmacy. Whatever the season, Stay Well Pharmacy has you covered. As an integrated pharmacy, we stock all the well-known pharmacy medicines, as well as quality nutritional and herbal treatments. Our team of pharmacists and full-time naturopath are here to help you find the products and advice to suit the needs of you and your family. So come in and see us at Stay Well Pharmacy, 27 Shands Road in Hornby. Stay Well Pharmacy, live well, stay well.
Hi, I'm Steve and welcome to Carpet Kingdom. At Carpet Kingdom we stock a massive range of carpets and we're also the largest vinyl stockist in the South Island. And not only do we have an excellent range in store, but you can purchase our stock online. We offer free measuring quotes, we have our own installation team, we ship nationwide, so come on down and see us at Carpet Kingdom. 312 Wilsons Road in Waltham, just off Brougham Street, or visit us online at carpetkingdom.co.nz.
My son's helped me greatly with my independence now that I've got more mobility.
Mum, I've been looking into stand assist chairs from More Mobility. They recline back with a footrest, then when you want to get out of them, they stand you up. You can even sleep on them. More Mobility can bring one out for a free trial. There's even electric beds too. What do you think? For more range and more expert advice, see More Mobility, corner Clarence and Princess Streets off Blenheim Road.
What a difference more mobility makes.
Come dine with Country Catering at the Kaipoi Golf Club Cafe. Enjoy our range of delicious $10 lunches, daily specials and other homemade goodies. Open to the public 7 days inside the Kaipoi Golf Club, north end of William Street, Kaipoi. We look forward to seeing you soon.
High Heels in the High Country is a program on CTV, 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night. It focuses totally on the rural women, the people who are doing everything from running farms to running businesses. High Heels in the High Country, 8 o'clock Tuesday.
$400 red-zoned homes have been sold and relocated to safer ground. For a small number of buyers, the house price is $1.
The government have been selling red-zoned houses for as little as $1. Beware, although this has been the case with a few buyers, it is out of the ordinary. Once the house is bought at the best price, the structure is relocated off the red-zoned land to a safer location, all at the homeowner's expense. The Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Authority confirmed 400 homes have already been relocated. 25% of the homes were Crown owned, the rest by private insurers. The typical house price ranges from $5,000 to $30,000, depending on the state of the property. The $1 price tag not being the normal figure, the sum is calculated as the best deal for the taxpayer. One option for potential homeowners is the Community Housing Trust. Former Mayor Gary Moore created the initiative, which purchases the houses and moves them to a new location. The low-cost solution has over 20 success stories, with a few more on the way. Gary Moore says the aim isn't to make a profit, but the most important thing is to get families into homes.
South Shore residents have been left frustrated after another attack on a local native reserve. This is the 7th time the 20-hectare plot of land at the end of Rocking Horse Road has been torched in the last year. The native reserve is an integral part of the local community and dates back to 1995. An attack 8 years ago damaged 4,000 native plants, and regular plantings aren't maturing because of the constant fire damage. And keeping with the green spaces, for the first time in 13 years, the Christchurch City Council has decided to tender the contract that maintains Christchurch's public parks.
The responsibility of caring for Christchurch's parks has been that of City Cares for the last 13 years. That could all soon change, as the Christchurch City Council has decided to tender 2 of their 3 green space contracts. Looking after urban parks and road landscapes, the 2 contracts for more than a decade have been under the care of council-owned company, City Care. The 2 contracts combined are worth almost $12 million. A City Care spokesperson says The company welcomes the opportunity to tender. With the extensive experience and knowledge of Christchurch's green spaces, she believes CityCare is ideally positioned to retain the contracts. Since the contracts were first awarded in the early 2000s, CityCare has grown 14 times its original size. They made $350 million of revenue last year and have over 15,000 employees nationwide. The competition may be fierce, but when the contracts end in 12 months, it will give the opportunity for other businesses to contend for the work. CityCare already competes for work on a national scale against other local authorities and private sector organisations. The $3.7 million land drainage contract is still under review at the Christchurch City Council.
A local advocate for speed schools believes the government is ignoring school children in their government policy statement.
Roads of significance versus school children of no significance. That's the message a local advocate for speeding around schools is sending to the government. Local woman Lucinda Rees advocates for slower speeds in school areas, hoping to see them reduced to 30 kilometres per hour outside all schools across the nation.
You need to look upon school zones as a child area, not an adult driving area. We need to slow down for children because we can kill them on the road.
This comes following the announcement of the government policy statement on land transport, a draft document that dictates how almost $40 million is spent on land transport over the next decade. But Lucinda Rees believes they're focusing too much on getting drivers from A to B faster instead of considering school children.
This way they could save money because they'll get more children onto bikes and walking, and there will be less congestion due to the traffic outside schools.
The government policy statement comes into effect from the 1st of July next year. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Still to come, the business traffic and weather updates.
Al Jazeera News, international news right off the satellite, bringing you up-to-the-minute coverage of world events. Al Jazeera News, weekday mornings at 6 o'clock, right here on CTV.
Get rid of that damaging and unsightly moss, mould and lichen from your path, drive or roof with Mossbuster. Mossbuster is a no-bleach, non-abrasive, biodegradable solution that has over 35 years of proven results. Mossbuster costs less than half the price of other well-known products and can be yours for less than $1 a litre. You just spray it on and let Mother Nature do the rest. Check out our website to find the best solution to your moss, mould and grime problem. Order online or call us now on 0800 88 1000.
Action Removals, offering short or long-term storage facilities, full packing services, comprehensive rates, all fully insured and with 6 vehicle sizes to choose from. Earthquake repairs? Action Removals pack, move, store and return your valuable possessions stress-free. Action Removals, a family business that has been operating in Christchurch for over 10 years. Action Removals, your one-stop removal service on time, every time. 0800 222 526.
Blackwells has a proud history presenting leading vehicle brands, extensive backup and service for a total one-stop driving experience. Holden, Mazda and HSV new and used vehicle sales, servicing, parts, paint and panel, Isuzu truck sales and service, all together in one convenient location. More selection, more value, more quality and more reasons to make Blackwells your number one choice. Visit Blackwells today, corner Waterloo Racecourse Road, Sockburn or online at blackwells.co.nz.
Christchurch has its very own enchanted utopia, the Hitching Post. Pop in and see for yourself. A magical assortment of handmade creations, custom-made candles and artwork. Choose from our huge range of water features, garden art and imported giftware. Specialists in handcrafted metal artwork made in store. Nestled on 722 Marshlands Road. The Hitching Post, defining art our way.
Be immersed in the unique cultural highlights Germany has to offer every Tuesday night with Discover Germany. Tuesday at 7 p.m, right here on CTV.
Here's Warren Head with an update of the region's business news.
I'm Warren here from headliner.co.nz. Let me just touch on a few things over the last 48 hours that have occurred on the business markets. Firstly, the dairy price is up a little bit, tapering off there, so all the fright's gone out of that particular issue right now. We're going through a quiet patch for dairy, and we expect to see those auction prices come up when the season gets underway later in the year. So that means the farming community should continue to supply their local shops with lots more of the lovely dairy lolly. On the bad news front, Postie Plus's administrators, remember the company is in voluntary administration, have decided to skinny down Postie Plus, the company that has been headquartered in Christchurch up until a year ago before they moved to Auckland. And now they're closing 12 of their branches. The ones closing in town are in Bishopdale, the men's there, the women's there, the kids there, and over in Sydenham. Those branches weren't refurbished to the new look, so I suppose it's easier for them to close that. The decision as to what the future lies for Postie still is on the table, with people looking to buy it. On the affordable homes front, which I touched on last week, we're now starting to see the emergence of competing companies with lower cost product for relocation of people, particularly coming off TC3 land. On Cranford Street, good crowds looking at the Cantabrian, which is a low-cost, affordable property put up there by a consortium. Similarly, over on Barbados Street near St Albans Park, Ecotech, an Elson-based company, has got a very interesting module there, built overseas, snaps into place, and lots of options for that. And they're attracting large numbers of people looking at that as well. And talk too that somebody else from Wellington wants to build on the green frame. Not quite sure how that works with Sarah. Who does know what works with Sarah these days? On the good news front again, Skellerup is relocating from Woolston over to the Wigram Business Park. It's going to be a biggie, 18,300 square metres. About 200 people are employed by Skellerup. They'll all get a job there, and there should be some scope as they build up for more capacity. There'll be better efficiency coming out of this new plant. It's going to be on a 3.4 hectare site on the business park developed by Ngā Tahu. And today I actually went to a very interesting briefing at Craig's Investment Partners downtown, their new offices on Victoria Street. A lot of stockbrokers here today to hear the message from Hirepool. They gave a great presentation, roadshow presentation about their offer, and you see their company out and about. They're one of the new IPOs, initial public offers, competing with a lot of software companies for the public's money. What I liked about it was that it's easily understandable, I should say. You can see where they're coming from. They've got 58 locations. And the thing that was new to me was how much they're getting out of major projects these days, and how much that they are tied into Christchurch in particular, supplying equipment, earth-moving gear, lighting, etc., to a lot of major projects, including the new Justice Precinct and the build for Burwood Hospital, motorways, etc., tying in with, amongst their customers, Arrow, Fletcher's, Hawkins, Lee's Construction, you name it. They all seem to be customers of Hirepool. And what are they looking for? They wanted to raise about 175 million to 260 million worth of new share capital between $1.10 and $1.50. which puts them on a very interesting, what I call a dividend yield of about 5 through to about 4.8, and they are actually going to be paying a dividend. That was the good thing that came out of that briefing today. So I look forward to seeing how they progress, along with all the other IPOs, as we call them, in coming weeks. I'm Warren Head for headliner.co.nz.
If you're driving around the Christchurch central city, CTV's traffic update will assist you navigating the repairs taking place.
Hello travellers, to help you plan your journey around the central city, here's a few tips. This week, Barbados Street is a place to avoid. The pinch points are at Belly Avenue to Salisbury Street, and from Litchfield Street to St Asaph Street. Madras Street from Morehouse Avenue to St Asaph Street is down to one lane, and then from Latimer Square in parts to Belly Avenue. Madras is still busy during peak times, especially at the Morehouse Avenue end, so we recommend if you do come up Gasson Street to consider using Brougham Street to Waltham Road and then Fitzgerald Avenue as an alternative route. To keep up to date on what's happening with the Central City roads, keep watching CTV News first at 5, and in the meantime visit the Transport for Christchurch website.
And finally tonight, here's your regional weather.
Kia ora everyone. Well, it was a chilly start to the morning. Let's see what those temperatures reach today. Down in South Canterbury, Timaru a cool 9 degrees, Temuka and Geraldine both on 9 degrees. Ashburton 9 degrees for you, Methven reached 9 degrees, Rakaia also on 9 degrees, Darfield had 9 degrees out there, Leeston and Rolleston had 9 degrees, Lincoln also had 9 degrees today. Christchurch, there was some sun about today, pretty chilly though with 9 degrees as your high, and at Akaroa 9 degrees was your high for today. Out north of the Waimak, Kaipoi, Rangiora and Amberley all on 10 degrees for Thursday. Taking a look inland, Culverden and Hanna Springs, you were both on 10 degrees today and 10 degrees in Cheviot. And up along the east coast, Kaikoura reached a high of 9 degrees. Timaru, fine and sunny with some high cloud later on with light westerly winds. Tonight's low -1, tomorrow's high 11 degrees. Ashburton, a frosty start but sunny with pleasant temperatures during the day. Tonight's low -2, tomorrow's high 11 degrees. Christchurch, clear skies and light winds make for a great Friday ahead. Tonight's low -1, tomorrow's high 11 degrees. Kaikoura, fine and sunny with light westerly winds and some high cloud. Tonight's low -2, tomorrow's high 11 degrees. The rest of Canterbury can expect a fine day to kickstart the weekend. Let's take a look at the temperatures. Temuka and Geraldine can expect a high of 11 degrees. Methven, you'll have 11 degrees and 11 degrees expected in Rakaia. Darfield, you can expect 11 degrees tomorrow, and Leeston, 11 degrees for you. Rolleston and Lincoln, 11 degrees for you, and over in Akaroa, 11 degrees is expected for your high for Friday. And out in North Canterbury, Kaipoi and Rangiora, 11 degrees for your Friday, and Amberley also on 11 degrees. And Friday is looking fine for Culverden, Hanna Springs and Cheviot, all on 11 degrees for Friday. Looking ahead for Canterbury, high cloud on Saturday morning with mild northwesterlies freshening, then a cold southwesterly change during the afternoon might bring a few brief showers. It's mostly fine and sunny on Sunday with southwesterlies dying out and northeasterlies developing. Mostly fine and sunny on Monday with light northeasterlies. Northeasterlies freshening on Tuesday with high cloud increasing later in the day, and fresh gusty northeasterly winds on Wednesday with mostly cloudy skies. Some brief rain spreading off the western ranges during the afternoon, then winds tending northwesterly. And that's your weather update for Thursday. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
But if you are going out, it's obviously going to be a very cold night, so wrap up warm. The payoff is, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful, warm, sunny day tomorrow. That's CTV News for Thursday. I'm Grant Mangan. Good night.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.